What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Hey, good evening.
Good
Thanks,
evening.
thanks for staying awake.
Oh man, it's my pleasure. Thanks for waking up, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was up a while ago, but not too long ago, sadly.
Oh, dude, all the way on the other side of the world, huh?
Yeah, where are you? Are you on the East Coast in the U.S. or what?
Yeah. I'm in New York.
Oh, okay. Whoa, yeah, bombings there yesterday, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was a few blocks away when it happened.
Everyone said that they're like a few blocks away, or
Yeah,
I
that's just
mean, you
the way it
probably
is.
were, but that's how New York is. It's not that big. Like I was only a mile away. I'm like, it's only 2 mile city.
Yeah. No, I was on a subway. I was taking the uptown local train that passes right by the stations, right near where
Hmm.
it happened. I was on the subway when it happened. It was yeah.
Was there a bomb in New Jersey too?
Yeah, actually at the Marine 5K run. It got pushed off. The bomb was set off to go off when like the runners got past that area, and it
That
actually
was like the Boston bomber bomb, right? It was like a pressure cooker bomb.
correct. Yeah,
It
it was a
would have
pipe
been.
bomb.
Oh, but yeah, well, that's a type of pipe bomb.
Yeah, it's the same principle.
And did they ever figure out yet, like who did
Oh
it?
yeah, they actually arrested a guy this afternoon. There was a shootout in I think Elizabeth, New Jersey, some or Linden, New Jersey. They had a little shootout, and they sent out actually an APB at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. last night,
Hmm.
uh, telling residents keep their eyes out for this guy who they pulled off of surveillance, and they found actually one print on one of the bombs that didn't go off. And yeah, there's a little shootout this afternoon. They got the guy in custody.
Got him alive? All
Got him
right.
alive. Yeah.
They usually kill themselves, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, from what I read, I don't think he had an ordinance on him. Um, I could be wrong. I don't know the whole story. I don't like to speculate on things that I don't.
Do they know if he's connected to any, like what his motivation was or anything?
Um, so I actually was reading a story that said he's like his family or somebody denounced him as he's just like he's kind of a kook who wanted to, I guess, forward his ideas and ideals. He happened to be, I think he was Muslim. So again, I don't want to draw any conclusions that it was anti-Israel or anti-whatever. I,
Well,
I
the
I
last one
honestly
was
don't
by
know.
Chechen Muslims that were at the Boston bombing. They were
Correct.
so. I
Correct.
was wondering if he was Chechen or what his deal was.
No, I don't think he was Chechen. I think he was Middle Eastern, from
All
what
right.
I read.
Well,
But
let's talk about Israel anyway. I mean, I was interested
yeah,
in the New York bombings. Wonder if they caught the fucker or whatever. Or-
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw there was a ISIS stabbing in Minnesota in
oh,
a mall over
wonderful.
there.
Fit
Yeah, and
like
ISIS took responsibility for that. That's
it's
messed
weird to
up.
me that I'm skeptical about some of that stuff sometimes because I mean ISIS is terrible, but when they're like what according to an ISIS website or something, I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of losers who just say, yeah, I'm part of. Like, what's that guy in Orlando? He said he was part of
Um,
Hezbollah, then ISIS, and then like
then
the two have
Hamas, and
nothing
then
to do with.
ISIS
Yeah, it's
again.
like they got nothing to do with one another, and I'm like, you're just a loser who lost it and shot a bunch of people. Uh,
Yeah,
like a lot of losers in these school shootings and stuff. They're always loners, guys in their 20s. They fit the same profile, but
yeah. And then it came out that he was suppressing his homophobic or homosexual feelings, which turned into homophobic feelings, which turned into him shooting up an LGBT club. It's a lot of stuff.
there was that guy in California had sexual frustrations too.
Everybody's got sexual frustrations.
This kid was like making videos about how he couldn't get laid and stuff. There's
That's
a
messed up. That's messed
it
up.
was some spoiled kid in California. I think he also had Asperger's or something. Not that
Well,
other people all do that who have Asperger's, but he
no, not at all. But a lot of these guys all have mental issues or some mental problem or
they're
just
usually on
something.
SSRI drugs too, and that's just an angle that hasn't been explored very much. Because we've had guns for centuries, but we didn't start getting school shootings or random shootings until pretty recent times with the advent of Prozac and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. There's definitely a lot of avenues that have to be explored for all these different things. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Well, I'm excited to have a rational discussion about Israel and Palestine because you get, I mean, you know how it is. You get people who are just dogmatic and like
I can't do that.
with the just sloganeering. Yeah, that's what you don't really see many debates about. Not serious ones. It's always like Hamas rockets versus colonization or whatever, and people screaming and not looking at, well, do you really want to solve things or not?
Yeah, no, that's a big thing for me, especially when I debate. I mean, I know you saw my bio, like I'm ex-IDF. I've gone through it. I've seen it firsthand. I've been in the shit, as they say. I was in Operation Protective Edge in 2014. I fought in that. So for me, I come from a very rational point of view. Like I'll never say something that I either don't have a fact to back up or don't have a personal experience to back up. And I mean, like you were saying before, there's not too many people that out there that are willing to have a rational debate and a rational discussion. It always devolves into some sort of shouting match and some sort of we're better and you guys kill babies and you guys are like I'm not about that. I'm here for the facts and like
My
putting on a
God
good
said,
debate
"This
for the
is
people.
mine. This is my favorite."
Huh?
God is the real estate agent. Those are my favorite excuses. Like,
No,
well, according to
no,
this
I will
book we
never
wrote
say that.
ourselves,
Yeah,
I can racially
listen,
inherit your house.
like as you can see, like I'm Jewish, but I'm not. I would never say something like that. That's just not my. That's not my mo. Not my mo at all. Because I'm personally someone who's for all religions. I believe in my faith and I have my faith, but I believe that everybody has a right to do what they got to do, to have their own opinions, to have their own religion and believe in what they need to believe in. So
Yeah,
that's what it
I'm
is.
not religious, but I used to be. But I'm fine with them. People can worship whatever they want. I just draw the line when they say that their God said, and then some criminal activity. That's religion cannot be a loophole for
Correct. God
prejudices. You
does not
can't.
say to kill people.
Right. Well, some gods do, but see, to me, religion is as religion does. It's like it's not Islam or Judaism or whatever that makes someone bad, and it doesn't make them good either. It's the person that makes their religion bad or good. It's a vehicle. Like you get Christians like Ron Paul, and you have some like that Norway shooter. There are all
Right.
kinds that can use their faith to prop up whatever. And there are, if you want to go by passages and stuff, crazy ass shit in the Bible, in the Torah, and the Quran. There's some
Oh,
really
100%. 100%.
mhm.
And yeah, 100%. I agree with you there 100%.
Sure.
Listen, it's what you make of it. If you turn it into something that is against people and something that's going to tell you to go out there and kill people, kill heretics, etc., 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 that's what you make of it. And honestly, it's sad if you make religion into something like that because to me religion is beautiful. There's a lot of beauty within religion. I mean, as someone obviously in the IDF, I've had myself, I've seen, Islam firsthand. I had some Muslims who were in the IDF with me in my platoon. I've had an opportunity to interact with Muslims on more and more of an opportunity than I've had, in America. And it really is a
Mm.
beautiful religion, and you can't judge a religion or a people based on some extremists, which sadly happens in Judaism, in Islam, in Christianity, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I would just argue though that obviously the extremism of somebody thinking their God wants them to take land or kill somebody or whatever, that's definitely extreme. But I think just the war on happiness is part of it too. Like a lot of the sexual taboos and dietary taboos, to me, it's just silly. Like, why can't you eat bacon? It's just dumb.
I guess it's a suppression type of thing, and when you suppress too much, it drives you off the deep end.
That's what it
I hear
is.
that.
You're not having pork and getting laid enough, and that's why you kill each other. No, but it is silly to me. It's like that guy.
That's what faith is.
There's a lot of taboos in religious faiths against homosexuality, and as an atheist, I just don't care.
Yeah, It's
Well,
true.
eat what you want, do it's okay. And don't feel so guilty
That's what
like,
they do.
oh, I got some contraband bacon strips here or something. Just eat it. It's I know
You
why they
want some?
made the law a long time ago. They're protecting people from TB and stuff. But I'm like, yes, but we have modern ovens and things now. Like you have to adjust. Like you work on Sundays, right? We no longer have slaves, right? Like there's been a lot of reform in religion.
Yeah,
Bacon should be one of those. I'm pushing that one.
you're pushing that one. I like it.
It's
Yeah,
pig. It's okay. Like millions of people, billions of people eat it, and they don't turn into demons or anything. Like it's just a way of cutting yourself off and separating yourself from other people and being like, oh well, I don't do that.
yeah,
And to me, that's kind of like the cult of like vegans or whatever else. That it's a it's just sort of a snarky thing of renunciation. Like I'm going to withhold this pleasure from myself because that's part of my group
yeah.
identity. But all you're doing is missing out on something. That's it. And not even know.
Right.
You'll never know. So, and the
I
same
mean,
thing with
it's
sexuality.
also
There's some people like I can't have sex until I'm married because it's in my book. I'm like, okay, you're missing
listen. I
out.
mean, that's the. I'm sure I am, but no. Listen, that's the auspices of faith,
Yeah, I
though.
know. I got it.
I
Well,
mean,
you can
that's
have
what
oral
religion is.
sex.
Religion
That's
is
not
faith.
illegal or taboo. There's some loopholes.
I mean, technically, it is illegal.
Ah,
Technically,
well,
if
man,
I don't think
I
that's,
want to convert you, dude.
I think that's the
You're
debate right
missing
now.
out. Or hurry up and get married. Then I mean, see, that's the kind of
I'm
stuff
too
I
young.
just
I'm
feel.
too young.
Okay, yeah, it's whatever. I just find that so silly to me, and the silliness just
Listen, I have fun.
expands.
I do my own thing.
Yeah.
I do what I got to do. We can just leave it there,
Hey,
just in case
to
my
each
mom's
their own,
watching.
man.
Like, hey,
You can
mom.
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm just offering something to you. To me, I feel like you
Nah,
seem
straight
to
up.
be okay, but there are other people who really want to do the things they're not supposed to do, and they have a lot of guilt when they finally do them. And once they get married and start having
Yeah.
sex, and they realize, man, I could have been doing that for X number of years, and I'll never get that age back when I was 22 or 23, whatever it was. Like that'll never return, and you miss that whole year of doing that, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years. But and why? Because you believe in this
Yeah.
book that has talking donkeys and a flat earth and slaves and magic and people turning sticks into snakes. And why the fuck would you
That actually
believe
makes me happy that you bring up the talking donkey.
there is a talking
that,
donkey? There's
that's really, yeah. That's funny that you bring up the talking donkey. I like that.
Samson's magic
I
hair.
like that.
Like, oh, he cut off Delilah cut his hair and he lost his super strength. It's like
Hey,
it's
don't forget
it's
about
like
that.
this, man. It's stories like that. Like, except you think it's true. And I'm like, why? You have to know you're being brainwashed? Like you
Well, one big thing that there is to know that, especially in Judaism, is really brought up a lot in terms of these stories that are sort of, they seem mystical and they seem like they're made up or whatever, is that a lot of rabbis or a lot of people that study the Torah, study the Quran, study the Bible, will tell you that a lot of these stories are there more for you to learn
mm,
from, meaning they're not necessarily there as this is what happened.
they're
It's
metaphors.
there for you
Yeah.
to, yeah, they're metaphors for you to learn from and to take something out of for your life, for yourself.
But it's not
So,
really clear that that's
maybe the
how
donkey
that's
didn't talk.
practiced.
Maybe Samson's hair.
Like, I'm glad you think they're
Well,
metaphors because that's much more sane position because obviously the animals weren't talking. It's just a story like Mother Goose stories or He-Man where the point is blah blah blah, not that literally this is happening.
right. I
Like
mean,
Aesop's
a
fables.
lot of them, if you look, yeah, I mean, if you look in the like, so especially for the Torah, it's not black and white. There's a lot of rabbis that comment on the Torah. There's a lot of people that comment on the Torah. I mean, you could spend 120 years going through everything that every rabbi has written on the Torah, and you wouldn't get through everything just because there are so many opinions and so many ideas and so many
Yeah, there's lots of
different
rationalizations. I mean, it's
allusions.
hard to be like when they said the
Correct.
Earth was made in 7 days, they really meant 6 million years. And when this guy lived to be 1,000 years old, that really meant 1,000 moons or something. You can be an apologist and make a zillion excuses, or you can just say it's written by people and it made these mistakes because they were wrong.
Yeah. I mean, most rational people will tell you that either it's a metaphor it's something that's there for you to learn from, or that it straight up was a mistake, or that things happened differently in the past when it was
Yeah,
written.
some of the
Most rational
metaphors
people
are
will tell you that.
still not good points. I mean, some of the
Yeah,
things that are just immoral, like owning people, is wrong.
yeah, that's
Beating your
yeah.
slaves with a rod, which is right at the chapter following the Ten Commandments, explains, how to punish your disobedient slaves. That's Exodus
I
21,
don't know where that
20.
is.
If you beat your slave with a rod and he gets up after a day or two, that's fine. But if he dies, you're to be punished because you just destroyed your own property. They're witches, burning witches.
Where was
Exodus
that?
21,
Exodus.
20. It's the following the Ten Commandments. Like, I find that most people don't really read their religious text. There's all kinds of goofiness and there's a lot of immorality in it.
I've read
Yeah.
it many, many
We'll read that
times,
one then.
and I
I read it many times too when I was a Christian, but it just sort of glossed over. Like I had to go back as an adult, separated from it, and then see it, and I was like, I can't believe I didn't see all these things before because when
oh, okay.
you can
So
make it.
the difference here
Go
is
ahead.
that Exodus 21:20 that you're referencing is a translation. That's the King James Bible, correct?
That's any Bible.
So in the most perfect
Which
translation
which
from Hebrew,
translation would it
I speak
be
fluently.
like that is the most perfect? Because actually, the more original you get, the goofier it gets. The later translated things, like the New International Bible and things like that, have removed a lot of the goofiness because they've had more time to correct things. And the further back you go, the worse it gets. But I don't want to bait the
So
religion because, well, I do, but it's
yeah, yeah,
we
no,
need
I
to
got
talk about
you.
it. It's related
We got
because
to talk
the
about
the
Islam
point I'm
now.
making is there's a kind of sliding scale. Like, yes, you don't agree with murder or anything, like obviously, like, but the I think it's unhealthy to have a faith that already divides the worlds between us and them. Like, there's Jews and Gentiles is already a bad starting point. Instead of people, it's like my tribe and we're chosen. You can think of that as chosen to spread the word of God, or you can think of it as like chosen to multiply over the earth and subdue it, because you can pick the passage you want. But to psychologically, to raise a child is thinking like we're this special little group and everyone else is outside our group isn't good. It's a bad place to start.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's what it comes down to. That's the whole faith thing, in my opinion. So
All right, yeah. That we're gonna hopefully have the right kind of faith and right kind of rabbi and everything, but there are many who don't, and the same thing with Islam and or any other religion. There are the good and the bad, but the other thing is institutionally, churches are giving tens of billions of dollars to an apartheid state, and you cannot justify. I don't think you can justify racial colonization and segregation. And these religions, even though they're comprised of all these good people who want to help the poor and everything else, their money is being used to prop up a government with policies of racial segregation and policies of house demolitions. That is not, I would say, if you were to ask the practitioners individually, like, hey, would you take a bulldozer and smash someone's house down and replace it with your better race? They would say, no way. Oh no, we lost the feed. I'll just wait.